Okay, this is lesson 139 of a workbook of A Course in Miracles, and I've just been sort of laughing at the occurrences of the whole morning, so I think I may as well laugh through this lesson as well. Lesson 139, I will accept the atonement for myself. And there's one line here that you really have to sort of take a look at, and it says, let me read the two paragraphs just so to put it in context rather than have it be out of context for a second. It says, I will accept the atonement for myself. Here is the end of choice. For here we come to a decision to accept ourselves as God created us. And what is choice except uncertainty of what we are? Now, there's in a sense, an understanding about what uncertainty is that is useful to remember throughout your reading and your study and your working with A Course in Miracles. He does this in different ways with different ideas, such as love. There's no way to really define what love is because love is all there is, and you are love. So in the beginning of the book, he says, I can't tell you what love is, but certainly we can find the blocks to the awareness of love's presence and utilize a technique called forgiveness to get rid of those blocks so that you can become aware of what love is. But in the book, one of the things he says about love here within the world of space and time, love is letting go of fear. The way you learn about what love is and the action of love in your mind comes from your ability to let go of fear and have the spot that was being held in place by fear be replaced by love. Now, there's no real definition for it, but that is the best understanding that I've seen yet anywhere of what love is and the power of love and the ability to make itself known in your life when you use that which is so prevalent in one's life as a way to come to understand yourself and what love is as what you are. And here's another one. What is choice except uncertainty of what you are? So every time you think there is a choice, it's representative of the fact that you are uncertain about who you are. Now, I know that's very difficult for many of you to accept, and yet it is a working sort of understanding or principle that allows you to come into a continuum revealing of what it is you are. And this lesson is all about you recognizing who you are, because many people still don't think they know who they are, and yet they always are exactly as they are. They're as real as God created them, and the unreality of the identity in the image is as unreal or illusionary as it could be. And you don't need to choose, you just don't need to allow yourself to have it sorted out so you can come to know within yourself through a constant process of self-revealing. That's why when it talks about this course as a self-study course, it's not that you study it alone. Being alone and studying it alone is the problem. It's that it's a study of yourself and how to have that self revealed to you, utilizing everything that's always going on around you, seemingly, because everything that's going on around you is actually what's going on within you. And this is a technique, it's a mind training to help you utilize the entirety of that right here and right now through the acceptance of simple principles rather than struggling with them and resisting them and demanding something that you can't get out of them, because when you resist them and you want to know what they are, you're not in the process of using them in order to find out the answer to the question that you've always had about yourself. So, and what is choice except uncertainty about yourself? That's all. Just recognize that when there's choice, there's an uncertainty about what you are, and return to the fact that you are what God created you to be. You don't have to know what that is in terms of a concept, but you have to allow it to let it be revealed to you. And in that revealing, what we begin to find out is what's real and what's unreal. It's not in the sense that the unreal, how do I say this, that makes any sense? The unreal will remain unreal and will no longer have an effect on you, while the real will bring you great joy in the self-revealing process that you're undergoing when you utilize these sort of simple principles and understanding as a way to proceed with your daily life in the mundanity of what you seem to be experiencing at the hands of someone other than yourself. There is no doubt, there is no doubt that is not rooted here. Okay? I know that's very difficult to accept, especially when you think you know what this course is about, especially when you think you've arrived someplace in your understanding. There's no real arrival within space and time. There's no real conclusions within space and time, because space and time is the idea of a thing that begins and an idea that has an end, but it has never, within it, it doesn't begin or end. It's just useful in the sense of it being a way to utilize this seeming condition we're in to help us integrate who we are through the application of these understandings and principles, so we arise out of it as our integration takes place back into the recognition of the awareness of who we are in a kingdom that's never changed, nor have you ever left. There is no doubt that is not rooted here. There's no question but reflects this one. There is no conflict that does not entail a single simple question: what am I? You could ask this question, yet who could ask this question except one who has refused to recognize himself? Okay, now I know many people take that to be an affront to their intelligence, to who they are, to their sensibilities, to their position in space and time. That's okay. But if you just let this statement stand and accept it, it becomes very useful information if it is truth you're looking for about yourself. Because when you accept these things, and you accept them in the face of seeing your own resistance of the non-acceptance, you must learn the use of the power of your mind through the acceptance of the fact, experientially, that you have used the power of your mind to deny your reality and therefore deny yourself. That's the way this works. You discover, you rediscover, let's put it that way. You rediscover the power of your mind here in space and time by recognizing that you've used the power against yourself, and therefore you've never lost the power. You are not powerless. You've just invested your power unwisely and now have the chance to invest it once again in reality. You don't have to know how. This is how. It's through the recognition. It's through the admission of simple, fundamental things that are occurring to you in each and every one of the interactions that take place within the seeming world of space and time that you and I think we're occupying, yet in reality is just merely a learning device so we can remember who we are, remember who each other are, stop struggling with ourselves and therefore with each other, and allow ourselves, our holy minds and hearts, to be in service of our soul as we are enlisted in the plan for atonement to help all of our brothers awaken to a reality that we've never left, is only and always perfect, and that for a moment we broke communication with, because we broke communication within ourselves, with each other, and with that reality as the same moment. They are not different moments. It all stems from a single incident, and we're living in the replication of that incident and going out and continuing to fragment until we stop, be upset, turned around in the recognition of the effects are not our cause, so that we can learn of our causation and cause within our own experience of ourselves, and reintegrate back into the wholeness of the love of God that we were created to be and extend. Yet who could ask this question except one who has refused to recognize himself? And I know many of you say, well, I haven't refused to recognize myself. That is what denial and resistance is. Only refusal to accept yourself could make the question seem so sincere. The only thing that can be surely known by any living thing is what it is. By any living thing. Animals don't question what they are. Humans have the capacity for self-reflection. And that capacity is something they imposed upon themselves in a minute of forgetting who they are and where they are and what their purpose is, because it's all a single thing. It's not different. They're all different, let's call it attributes or aspects of the wholeness of who you were already created to be. The only thing that can be surely known by any living thing is what it is. The animal and plant, mineral and vegetable kingdom don't spend their time reflecting upon who they are and attempt to figure it out. They're in a condition of being what they are, wherever they are, and doing what that being is designed for them to do. They don't sit around and think, oh, am I going to go out and let the fox catch me today, or a rabbit, or there's no distance between what they are and where they are. They are with their own environment. It's all one action, and that's what you are and I are actually. But this capacity that was built into consciousness, which is the domain of the ego, based on remembering not to laugh at the tiny mad idea, has put us in a house of mirrors in which we're constantly looking at the reflection, asking the reflections for the answer that can't be found in the reflection, but can only be found within the experience of ourselves by looking within where the light is coming to, tracing it back, following it back from whence it came, and living in the reality of that, rather than projecting the idea of reality out and thinking that somewhere the answer is out there, because somewhere I can see something that's occurring that I must be in relationship to that has the ability to help me. Only refusal to accept yourself could make the question seem to be sincere. The only thing that can be surely known by any living thing is what it is. From this one point of certainty, it looks on other things as certain as itself. Yes. Uncertainty about what you are, what you must be, is self-deception on a scale so vast, its magnitude can hardly be conceived. There's this building in Wisconsin, down, it's called House on a Rock. It's called House on a Rock. And it was a guy who collected stuff. It's just endless amounts of stuff that he's collected in all these rooms that have themes, and it's all underground. And it's like it's all carousels and things, dolls. It's just like a collection of things that fills this entire location, room after room after room. It's a little bit spooky, if you ask me, although it's interesting to the ego because it's what the ego does. And when you finally get through it and you go out, there's this thing called the infinity room. And the infinity room is this room that's built as sort of a room that extends out as far as it could extend. And there's mirrors, and when you get to the end of where the room ends, the mirrors allow you to continue to see as if it keeps on going on into infinity. And all you're doing is looking into a bunch of mirrors and being amazed by the reflection that you're getting in the mirror. It's the magnitude of what you see in the reflection is so vast that you lose the perspective of the fact that you're standing against the wall looking at mirrors. This is much the same thing that this is alluding to. And you're amazed and wowed by the view that you're getting, never once realizing that it's merely a reflection and it's not really true at all. You're standing next to a wall. It's really interesting. This is what this is talking about. Now, what I'm going to say, because I'm not going to prolong this, the ability to accept the atonement for yourself is the ability to allow yourself to learn in each and every moment what you already are, and that you are at one with everything that is real, and no reflection upon it is necessary, because the revealing of it is constantly available to you when you utilize these understandings for the revealing, rather than as concepts that you duel with yourself with or with others with. To be alive and not to know yourself is to believe that you are really dead. For what is life except to be yourself, and what but you can be alive instead? No matter what it is you try to figure out, you're going to be you no matter what the hell happens to you. So you might as well settle back, enjoy the ride, and stay centered in the recognition that who you are is in the constant state of being revealed to you. And then when you allow that to occur based on these principles, you allow yourself to recognize that you've always been. There's never been a time when you weren't. You've never been alone. You've always been whole and perfect. And you can sit back and enjoy it, rather than thinking that there's a world against you that's preventing you from knowing who you are, being what you are, experiencing what you would like to experience, when what you'd like to experience is the reality of who you are in an eternal and infinite world of love and brotherhood, where dreams come true because they're happy, and the end of dreaming is at hand because you're awakening to the reality that you never left, so that no more speculation is necessary. This lesson avails you of the non-necessity to continue to speculate, and offers you the tools to remain in a process of self-revealing. You're not a static condition, as indicated by the fleshy solid substances within the world of space and time that seem to have a beginning and have an end. You're infinite, you're dynamic, you're whole, you're perfect, and you're capable, much as God is, because he created you like himself, to extend the infinite dynamic nature of love that is what the core of your being is made from, and what the reality that you live in as has always been. So for heaven's sake, today, accept the atonement for yourself. Use the uncertainty, use the doubt. Don't judge yourself by it, because that's what everybody does. Oh, poor me, I don't know who I am. Stop judging yourself by your uncertainty. Stop judging yourself by the doubt. Read this lesson. Use the doubt and uncertainty as principles that can help you learn by a self-revealing who you are, who you've always have been, what's real and what's unreal, so that the unreal no longer is given causation, and the cause of you remains your reality as you become associated with cause, in the cause of cause, to extend itself as whole, perfect, infinite love.